When you build muscle, you raise your basal metabolism, which means me standing here in front of you now with more muscle than I had 9 months ago meant that I'm actually burning more calories right this very second because of that. Beyond that, everything else is a determination based more on your DNA than anything else. But what's worked for me, which has been amazing, and I don't disrespect any wheat farmers out in the market or any relatives of yours that have farms, but 5 weeks ago I gave up eating wheat. And I have to tell you that, maybe it's my New York accent, but 2 weeks ago I was at a conference about dads, and I gave the talk I'm about to tell you, and at the end 3 guys came up to me and they said, "Forget everything else you said, but why did you give up the weed?" And I said, "It was wheat. It was wheat." But anyway, number one for me is I gave up wheat, and the effect isn't so much about not eating bread. What it's changed is my ability to live. A week after I gave up wheat, I found that I had a higher awareness of what was happening around me and I had more energy. 3 weeks into it, I traveled. I found that I didn't have jet lag. I discovered I don't get hungry. And maybe for me, the most promising is, I don't know about you, go back to the shower for a second, but when I sometimes take a shower, I stare at a wall where I take a shower, and there are always these nooks and crannies. And for years, I always used to see the same patterns. Whenever I took a shower, I stood in the wall, I saw those patterns. About 3 weeks ago, I started seeing different patterns. And I don't know how to explain this to you, but I'm like a different person. I'm seeing and computing and seeing things differently. And maybe the best part is I actually feel good. So for me, no wheat for now. And I don't do it as, I'm not trying to be a zealot, because for Shabbat I'll have a little bit of challah. And if there's food that had wheat in it, I learn. I'm not trying to say don't ever eat wheat. But as far as a characteristic, it works. Number two is I'm avoiding sugary stuff, which maybe people always told me to do, but now I'm listening. And the most transformational for me is I eat green things now. Less lettuce. Ever tried eating lettuce without salad dressing? Wow. But lettuce, fruits, and vegetables, and exercise. And in fact, when you exercise, though, it gets very frustrating because you try to lose weight and you're exercising, your weight loss is up and down. And I discovered we needed a tape measure to measure how you're doing. Because the scales lie, but your body doesn't. And if there's anyone who planning on doing some exercise or wants to go on a diet, I brought an extra tape measure to give to someone to help them with their struggle. Because I can tell you, me and the scales wouldn't get along. But as of today, I found that I was down 28.5 kilos, which is for me a lot. And I frustrated because I was down 27 kilos and I was gaining